The price of groceries are through the roof, and starting a vegetable garden and growing food is starting to feel like it's expensive too. But what if it doesn't have to be? This isn't a one-trick garden. It's a full system that recycles everything. It builds on its own fertility and gets more and more productive with each season. And the best part, we're keeping our bills low and growing real food that we actually eat. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome to Marty's Garden. I'm Marty Ware, horticulturist from Australia. And this channel is all about self-sufficient living and keeping costs low and getting super productive at the same time. So, no matter what your climate, size of garden, where you're situated, if you follow these principles, the system will still work. So this is video 2 of this series, the Self-Sufficient Low Cost series, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot out of it. Now, if you've turned up later, then there's going to be a whole lot of videos in the series ready. If you're just watching this video now, then possibly we're still creating new content. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at all the different ways of living to zero cost as best as possible, recycling everything that we have on site and creating a loop that creates beautiful fertilizer. We don't have to go out and buy all this expensive store-bought stuff that you think you need. It really can be done all on site here in your own garden, something like this, big or small space. Stick with it because it's going to be an awesome series and there's more to come in this video. This has to be one of the cheapest, simplest systems to recycling waste at home. Yes, it recycles all the waste from your kitchen and around the garden and turns it into things like liquid tea and amazing fertilizers that all plants love and enjoy. So you can recycle cardboard and things like that. I've used this as a blanket. I've put an old papaya in here, it's just starting to rot, and some eggshell and different things from the garden. You can see the watermelon's nearly chewed through here. And look at these beautiful castings. The worms have chewed through that, and I can use that in the garden on any of my plants, even seedlings. It's just so soft and delicate, but yet so powerful at the same time. You can see they've eaten right through that avocado, and next they'll take care of that shell, no problem. Things like banana. Yep, look at that, look, open it up, and they're all inside there eating that. How cool is that? The thing is with these, you don't overfeed them too much. Once you nearly run out of food, you feed them again. And this farm now, it's pretty empty, so it's ready to be harvested and then ready to be re-fed. Well, those worms would be really hungry. I've just placed compost on top of here, and they're starting to move through that compost now. They'll chew through that compost and turn it into really good castings. And so basically all I'm doing is I'm using the finished compost or nearly finished compost into the worm farm to make it even more fertile. So you only need to save a little bit of your finished compost and just put it in its bedding, and yeah, they love the stuff. So worm farming can save you a lot of money, but let's get real. There are costs involved to starting a garden. But I want to share a story with you as I go back and check the bananas at the back here, see if they're getting ripe yet, about how I started off with nearly nothing as a single parent on a little veranda raising a disabled child with a hearing disability. All right, let's go through the little bush, through the forest here, and check the bananas. Does anyone know what these are? I've totally forgotten. I know they grow in some type of tuber, but yeah, I think as they're falling down, they get ready. But anyway, we'll keep going through the bananas. I want to tell you about that story, and you know, I'm sure it's going to help those who want to move forward and grow cheaply, and it really can be done. So yeah, when my daughter was around about, well, toddler, just a couple of years old, I had to move in an apartment. And look, I had no money to get started, and this is where the closed loop system come in. I figured out that if I could save the things that I was buying in, such as the foods and stuff from the supermarket, I could recycle them and turn them into inputs for the plants. And this is where the worm farming started, right on this very little veranda at Tweed Heads in northern New South Wales, Australia. It really was the start of Marty's garden, and it was a small space. It was only a little veranda. Not ready yet. So I was just using recycled containers and the inputs out of the worm farms, and I was getting amazing results just from a little tiny veranda. And I was learning how to stack vertical and grow lots of plants in little spaces, companion planting, sprouts, microgreens, all that stuff. And I started saving money, and man, I tell you what, it started to change my life right there and then. So before we carry on with the video, I just want to thank you if you got this far, and let you know if you want to support the channel, you can do so at the Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee/Marty's Garden. Just buy me a virtual coffee. There's other materials in posts and in photos and different things on there to help with your gardening journey also. And it really does help me and this channel produce more content for you guys. It really is appreciated. All right, let's keep carrying on with the video. So I'm here in the kitchen, and I've got this bucket of scraps that we use. Yep, everything that is organic that comes out of the garden or we buy at the shop that gets chopped up, it goes into here. Occasionally this goes to the chickens, but mostly it goes into the worm farms. Now, what I've got in here, there's even like a little bit of onion. We're not supposed to really put that in there, so I'll separate any onion and garlic. No cheese, no nasties, anything like that. And the worms will chew it right up. Look, a little bit of onion, a little bit of citrus doesn't hurt, but what I do is I separate the eggshells. Occasionally the eggshells get in there. Now these are full of calcium, and what I like to do is I like to crush these up. But first what I do is I put them in the microwave for, you know, it could be anywhere up to 3 minutes depending on how many eggshells I have, and then I crush it up into a powder. Now this will then go on around the plants or into the worm farms as a calcium substitute. And when I've got extra, I just feed it up as a crushed eggshell back to the chickens as well. So this is a great recycled material, and it ends up in the chicken manure, which then I use again on the garden, and also I put aged chicken manure into worm farms. It makes an awesome, awesome fertilizer. So if you've been enjoying the channel and the series, there'll be a window here and some links and stuff around here in the description. Keep watching the channel, keep watching the series, more to come as we learn more, and I share implements and tips and tricks and lots of knowledge about growing fresh food at home for zero costs on the dollar and saving you money. All right, I'll see you at the next video real soon. Bye for now.